Doctor Who, the image of Fendhal, is a sonic scan draws the TARDIS to the Fetch Priory on Earth. There, the Doctor and Leela discover an impossibly old human skull that is the key to a nightmare from the Time Lord's past. A murderous monster stalks the Priory grounds, and within, someone is intent on unleashing a malevolent creature that feeds on death itself. This serial is a classic gothic horror story mixed with science fiction elements. The setting is a dark forest surrounding an old Gothic priory, and in the priory, scientists are working on an old skull that holds the key to human evolution. It's almost Frankensteinish in a way. Also, there is some witchcraft. The sets and filming locations for the serial fit the story and was being told and added so much atmosphere to the story. It was much needed. The story itself is quite simple, and that is okay. This didn't need to be complex or over the top to be good, and it's just fine the way it is. I will admit, however, that it had some pretty good ideas to make one think about evolution, time, space, and mythology, particularly the Time Lord's mythology, since if I heard them correctly, the Fendhal creatures are of the Doctor's ancestors, and the Doctor discovers that the Time Lords illegally put the fifth planet in our solar system into a time loop to make all records of the Fendhals invisible, which would make one think if there should have been a fifth planet in our system. The special effects were well done, and the creatures looked good. Yes, they're a little silly, but for the time period that this was made, it was good. I didn't like Leela's new outfit and hairstyle. They acknowledged that she is different, but it just didn't look like her at all. The leather was just too bright, and her hair looked way too modern. Thankfully, at the end, she is back to normal, and she fits right back into her character. I understand why they had her hair made up, since she had an accident in cutting her hair, but it just didn't feel right for the character. Thankfully, it is both tolerable and only in 4 episodes. K9 was only in parts 1 and 4, since he is under repairs. This is because K9 was a last-minute addition, and there hadn't been time to fit him properly into future stories, like a previous companion. And it was a nice fix for the story didn't need K9 to be there that much, and would have really upset the gothic horror aspects of the story. I give the story 2.5 stars out of 5. In keeping with tracking the Jelly Belly consumption, roughly 2 of them were eaten. However, by now there are not Jelly Bellies, but licorice of all sorts that he calls Jelly Bellies. People associated with the series say this is one of the ways the Doctor confuses his enemies. To me, that's kind of interesting. And I said kind of earlier with K9, since he was under repairs for this story, and that was mainly because, like I said, he was a last-minute addition to the series to kind of bolster ratings with kids. And I kind of felt like this was reminiscent of the character of Jamie with the second Doctor, because the character of Jamie, as we know, Jamie and the Doctor became great friends, was like a main companion for the second Doctor. But when he was introduced, he was a last-minute decision, quite literally, because he was supposed to be in just one story, and he was a big integral part of that. And then the producer who had worked with him before was like, "Hey, do you want to be a member of the TARDIS crew? We'll just put you in there." And he agreed to do it. And so that's why in several episodes afterwards, he kind of didn't do much, until they finally found a proper balance for things for him to do and say, because they had to take lines from some of the characters to give him, and sometimes he just sat there or laid there. So it took a few stories for him to get into there, and that's kind of what they're doing with K9 in this one too. So they kind of know what they're doing. So, but yes, that is all for tonight. I hope you have a good day or night. Ta-da.